Deep space is an environment defined by biological failure. Temperatures hover near absolute zero, and ambient cosmic radiation levels are high enough to shatter human DNA strands within hours. Yet, human biology is currently surviving in this void. Inside the International Space Station, suspended in microgravity, isolated human tissue is actively multiplying. These are HeLa cells. This specific line of immortal biology has expanded into laboratories across the globe and into every major off-world research module in orbit. The logistical foundation for humanity's presence in the stars is a biological asset taken from a patient who never knew it existed. In 1951, Henrietta Lacks was a 31-year-old mother living in Baltimore. She sought medical attention for a persistent physical pain, described as a knot in her womb. She arrived at the segregated ward of Johns Hopkins Hospital, one of the few facilities at the time that treated Black patients. During her examination, a surgeon removed 2 tissue samples from her cervix. One sample was used for diagnosis. The second was diverted to a research lab for experimentation. Henrietta was never asked for her consent. This high-magnification image shows the physical structure of those cells. In the lab, researchers observed that these cells bypassed the Hayflick limit, the biological clock that typically forces human cells to stop dividing. These cells doubled in volume every 24 hours. The lead researcher labeled the sample using the first 2 letters of Henrietta's first and last names. He wrote HeLa. This shorthand effectively decoupled the biological material from the human source, completely turning a person into a procedural code. By 1960, a vial of these cells was integrated into a rocket payload at Cape Canaveral. This first sample of human biology to break Earth's atmosphere was stolen tissue from a woman who died in a segregated hospital ward 9 years earlier. Scientists anticipated the cells would perish from radiation exposure. Instead, the cells adapted to the weightless environment and continued to divide. This launch proved that human tissue could survive the transit to space, beginning a cycle of cellular division that has now outlived Henrietta herself by 7 decades. This timeline maps data generated by HeLa cells in space. Starting in the 1980s, points track early studies on cosmic radiation and DNA repair. The ledger expands to the 2020s, providing primary data for mapping radiation-induced cellular aging and accelerated DNA damage. These cells provide the genetic instructions for shielding human biology against the vacuum of space, serving as the test subject for every shield and pharmaceutical intervention we design for astronauts. While these cells built a multi-billion-dollar space economy, Henrietta's descendants remained in poverty, unable to afford the medical breakthroughs their mother's cells made possible. This phylogenetic tree traces human ancestry to a single root, Mitochondrial Eve. Every person carries a genetic signature from this matriarch, passed through an unbroken chain of generations. Science has engineered a second root. Henrietta Lacks is the foundational ancestor for our off-world future. There is a stark divergence in how these 2 lineages began. One Eve gave life through the natural process of birth. The other had her genetic legacy surgically extracted without her knowledge for commercial gain. In 1951, Henrietta was a mother holding her child, unaware her biology was being converted into a permanent laboratory resource. We secured the biological data required to colonize the solar system, but we have done so by erasing the identity of the person who provided it. Future Mars colonists will likely rely on the Henrietta Protocol, using HeLa-derived genetic vectors to repair the DNA damage caused by long-term radiation exposure. We are projecting a future where ship computers identify the biological engine of the mission as HeLa, a procedural product name that hides a historical theft. In 1,000 years, a child on a distant colony may learn about the Space Eve and ask why the records of her life were treated as secondary to the records of her cells. This disconnect highlights a choice we have ignored. We have prioritized scientific gain by separating a body from its history, treating a person's identity as an obstacle to progress. In Baltimore, Henrietta's family eventually placed a headstone on her grave, nearly 60 years after her death. This view from the International Space Station shows the world Henrietta left behind. While her body remains in a quiet Baltimore cemetery, her cells continue to divide in this orbit, shielding the people who live here. Our expansion into the stars is a form of scientific scavenging, until we settle the debt owed to her family and restore her name to the history of these missions. The math of this cellular immortality suggests that long after Earth is uninhabitable, the final living matter originating from our species will be her tissue. These cells are a permanent, unforgetting record of an extraction. They will continue to divide in the dark, waiting for a human civilization that is willing to acknowledge the woman they came from.